Hey guys, Johnny Disc Golf here, and joining me today is the man of the hour this off season, Mr. Ezra Aderhold. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing really good, man. I mean, it's winter, but I'm in San Francisco, so it's hard to even call it winter. Where are you right now? Are
Yeah,
you in the Dakotas?
I'm I'm in Phoenix,
Oh
so
wow.
I'm kind of
Oh
in the same boat. It doesn't even yeah, it's been awesome to be down here. I can actually get outside and practice. So yeah, definitely beats South Dakota.
yeah. Are you down there for the Shelly Sharp? Are you playing that?
So I planned on it and then it filled up super quick and I missed signups, so
Ah,
I did not get in.
okay, so
But
you're just down there hanging,
yeah,
just spending
which
time.
just down here, yeah, just kind of spending the off season just to practice and be able to make content, and it's a really good spot to do that. So
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
it's been great.
and speaking of practice, I imagine you're going to be getting a lot of it in because new discs. Talk to me about the big new sponsor, and walk me through like how it came to be.
Yeah, they were actually kind of the first, manufacturer to reach out to me mid-season of 2020. Right after I shot that 1096 at
Hmm.
Clash of the Canyons, it was Deagle was the next tournament, and so they approached me and kind of talked to me first, and then it was like a week after that that kind of all the other companies started coming on and talking to me. So just kind of waited until the season ended to finalize decisions and kind of figure out exactly which company was the best and the best
Hmm.
fit. And just it ended up kind of thinking that Discraft has kind of similar goals that I have, and that they would be the best fit. And so it kind of just made sense to go with them.
No, totally. Is it? I guess can I ask were there any other manufacturers or any other companies that were like it was like, oh, Discraft, or was it kind of clearly going to be Discraft kind of from the get go?
There were definitely some positives from other companies that I saw, and so it definitely was not an easy decision by any means. Um, but talking with Nate Perkins, he helped me out a lot with the whole process, and he was able to kind of show me what I should be looking for and what should be important. And so in the end, Discraft made the most sense.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you mentioned Nate there because that's kind of an interesting thing going on with this. Can you talk about your guys' relationship and what role he played in all this?
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of the first like big name pro that I actually played with back in Texas at the end of 2019.
Mm,
So he kind of saw some potential, and he's actually who got me on Team OTB.
okay.
He went on a podcast and kind of hyped me up to them, and then that's how I got on OTB. So he's known me. We've known each other for a while, and we got to know each other a little bit more on tour, and so we were able to grow a little bit closer that way.
Hmm.
And then he kind of he was able to act kind of as my agent throughout the
Oh,
whole
okay.
scholarship process. He helped a lot with advice, and he made a lot of phone calls, and it was huge with that. He kind of took me under his wing, which was really nice because obviously everything's new to me,
Hmm.
and he kind of been here and done what I'm doing before, so definitely a big help.
Yeah, how was it kind of like because with a lot of the big name signings we've seen in the past couple years, they've been from a manufacturer to another manufacturer. It's more like a switch. I guess
Mm-hmm.
what was it like going through this for your first time? Like a little overwhelming? Did it feel right? How was it?
It was definitely kind of overwhelming at times. There's just a lot going on and everything's new.
Hmm.
And it just seemed like a lot of people were paying attention, and which is obviously super cool to see. Everyone wanted to know where I was going,
Yeah.
and there was kind of a lot of hype build up. So that definitely really cool, but also a little bit overwhelming at the same time. And that's where having Nate kind of helped with a lot of that. He was able to kind of help keep me calm and just kind of focused. And but yeah, overall, a really cool experience. I guess I can't compare it to like switching teams since it's kind of,
Sure.
I guess it's all all I know. But
Well, and it does kind of make sense that you would go with Discraft in my eyes because I know you from just crushing nukes,
mhm.
all over the place. I remember specifically, when you came on my radar for the first time, like more so than a guy that I've seen at events was at the Crush. This past year, you were on a
Mhm.
card right behind me, and you were like ripping
Yeah.
on this par five, like some of the longest shots I've seen. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? We need to follow him. Um,
I
so like,
remember that.
Well, yeah. What was it like to like? So you throw the nuke all over the place, but I guess like was that a big decision for you? You were like, okay, I'll have a few discs that I already know really really well, and then
Mhm.
like, did that play into it at all? Like you already loved the
It
discs?
it definitely played a big factor. I mean, obviously, if anybody goes and watches my in the bags of like the mid season or whatever, I think it was about half Discraft anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely used to a lot of the plastic, and obviously love the nukes, love the zones, and so I think those would have been pretty difficult things to give up. I don't think. Obviously, the zone is really a unique disc. I don't think anybody else really has
Yeah.
quite the same as a zone, and I think a lot of companies don't even really have a really good nuke replacement. So that would have been a pretty difficult thing to give up as well.
Mm-hmm. Are there any discs now that you're kind of made a full shift over to Discraft? Is there any discs that stand out to you that like you didn't really realize that you were gonna like, and then now you're like, wow, the Stalker's awesome? Or is there any disc that like surprises?
Not quite yet. I haven't flushed out my entire bag quite
Mm.
yet. Pretty soon here I'll be getting a box of discs, and so I'll be able to really get what I'm throwing dialed in. I know the Crystal Lunas are really good,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously the Buzz is,
Yep.
is super good, and I'll probably be throwing Ragdolls and Onyxes, and I'm excited to test out all the discs.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be real here. There's 6 weeks till the first big event.
Yeah.
When did this all come together for you? Because you don't even have like your full stock of discs, right?
Right. Yeah, it's been a few weeks, but I had to keep my actual bag the same for the whole
Mm.
process, just because if I would switch it over and then post a YouTube video, it'd be pretty obvious as to where I went, and so we kind of wanted to keep
Yeah,
we kind of wanted to keep the uncertainty alive, I guess, and
yeah,
so
it's
I kind of had to
tricky.
stay with what I had.
Hmm. Um, 2021 season, right? Last year you were Prius living, instant pot bean cooking.
Yes.
Uh, is there going to be any sort of change in travel plans? Are you going to like stay at a hotel a time or two? Are you getting a van? Like, what are the plans from like a touring standpoint?
I will be getting an upgraded vehicle, which
Nice.
is super super exciting. Yeah, so I'll be able to actually like cook meals and have a fridge, and it'll be a little bit more comfortable living
Uh,
on the road this year. So I'll probably still be eating a lot of the same foods, but trying to stay healthy and in shape, obviously on
mhm.
tour. But it'll be really nice to have just like a house kind of.
Yeah, well, you say an upgraded ride situation. Do you know what it is exactly? Have you got it yet?
I guess I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say, but I guess I
Okay.
will. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, well, it's a 27-foot RV.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
it's a huge upgrade from the
Yeah,
from
and
the
is
from
that
the
is that
Prius.
just you? Because I know in the past, Discraft guys were kind of like lumped together in a big RV. But is that just you rocking your thing?
So Yuli will be in it as well for some of the tour.
Great.
So which I'm pumped about, because
Yeah.
I have to look up to him a lot as a player and as like a mentor, and I think there's a lot that I can learn from him. He's been on tour for like 15 years now, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be really beneficial for me to just learn from him. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no question. You mentioned that it'll be a little easier for you to stay healthy and cook good meals and all that stuff on the road. Is that like, was that a passion of yours before disc golf ever came about, or I mean, like being fit, eating right,
Yeah.
living that lifestyle? Was that a passion before disc golf, or kind of were you always that like athletic, kind of physical minded person?
It's definitely been a passion for a while. My parents actually switched to a plant-based diet right when I was born, so
Oh.
health has always been really important for the entire family.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of got into like, so when I was like 9, I started swimming on like competitively on the swim team until
Mm-hmm.
like age 15, 16, and I liked being in shape from that, and so I kind of got a passion for fitness after I quit swimming and started like actually lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then, fitness and diet has definitely been an important part of my life.
Has anyone like when I think like the a physically fit person in the disc golf world is like Nico Lacastro is like kind of he's always been like one of the fitter people on tour, but he's more of like a
Yeah, yeah.
lean and lanky. Has anyone ever, or have you ever thought like maybe like bulk, there's a diminishing returns on the like gains, if you will?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely a point where you could have too much muscle, and
Mm-hmm.
if it starts to get in the way of flexibility, that's when it would really start to, hinder your distance and and stuff like that. I don't think I'm really anywhere close to that point yet.
Sure.
And I think if I'm being honest, it's probably pretty difficult to get too big naturally. So I don't think, I'll have any issues with that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main benefits to having muscle is injury prevention. I know there's been some pros in the past get injured and have to spend like an entire season off. And I think if you can surround a lot of the joints and ligaments with muscle, you can be a lot more protected against that.
No, absolutely. And honestly, like, health factors aside, it's almost part of the brand at this point. Do you think about that? Like, wow, okay, I'm like the super jacked guy on tour. Like, that's kind of my calling card.
I mean, that was never a goal, but I can't complain about it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's too good. Well, let's talk about the season 2021 a little bit. Are there any events, maybe you didn't get to it last year, any events that like on the top of your head are really like you're thinking about looking forward to?
I'm looking some of the ones that I played last year. I'm really looking forward to, like Toboggan, Deglow and Jonesboro and USDGC for sure. Really looking forward to going back to that. And then I'm really looking forward to going to Europe this season. Hopefully, obviously, if we can. Yeah. That'll be really fun. And then Worlds is going to be incredible. Those are some of the ones that come to mind at least. And Beaver State Fling comes to mind too. That's one I'm excited for.
Yeah, that's obviously one of my favorite. I think I've been to Beaver State Fling every year since like 2016. So, no, you picked some good ones. Let's talk about that USDGC, man. I'm really glad that you mentioned that because that was a huge. I mean, granted, it wasn't that you were on lead card, but that was a huge performance. What did that inspire confidence, or did that one hole that I know you think back on? Does that kind of haunt you a little bit?
Yeah. I don't really think about that hole maybe as much as people think I do. I don't really see that hole as ruining my tournament because I think even after that second day and taking the 10, I was still in 6th place. So I didn't move any spots after that day. But yeah, definitely gained a lot of confidence. I think just from being in 6th place and being kind of in the mix for 2 days of the biggest tournament of the season, it definitely kind of proved to myself that I can compete at that level and I can have a chance at winning any tournament that I go to. So it's definitely something that I can carry with me into next season.
Yeah, and that course, I just thinking through your game, it really seems like it does fit your game really well. I mean, albeit you're not throwing a lot of long sidearms, and that really helps out there. But do you feel like your game is like particularly suited for the ropes out there?
I think so, for sure. Yeah. I think USDGC suits my game better than almost any course. It definitely benefits players to be able to throw long distance, and if there's not trees in the way, I'm probably doing okay. So I prefer roped off OB versus tunnel shots, at least if I want to place well. So yeah, definitely like the course for my game.
Well, hit me with some goals. Do you like write down your goals? Are you like is that part of your routine, or like do you even think about that at all? Is it anything other than just like throw your next best shot?
Most of the time it's just trying to play my best and stay in it the whole time and never give up. But for this season particularly, I do want to get a win on tour. I want to get a pro tour win, national tour win, major tour win, at least one, would be nice. Yeah. And I want to finish top 8 in the pro tour standings. So, but,
beauty.
Obviously I'm gonna have to just take each tournament, one round at a time and go from there.
Yeah. Is there any level or added level of pressure or like expectation on yourself now that, I mean, let's be honest, there's a bit of investment on your game now. You're not really playing with house money anymore.
Right. Yeah, I definitely feel like I have to kind of perform this season. Obviously last season I was still motivated and wanted to perform, but I think there's a lot more eyes on me this season, obviously, and I think that's just going to push me to try my hardest even more, and hopefully get on some lead calls so that the fans can see me play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm rooting for you. Obviously, I want the one thing that I love about disc golf now is there is a lot of young people that are just full commit and are actually athletes. Do you kind of like? Does that like resonate with you? Do you feel like there's a lot of like those younger grindy athlete guys that are kind of come up in the game?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, those guys that like, I think we're just gonna, as more young guys come into the sport and keep working hard, I think
Hmm.
it's just gonna elevate the game in general. And as we get more really good guys at the top and more people vying for that top spot, I think it's gonna help grow the sport.
Hmm.
So I think, as more money comes into the sport too, I think that kind of incentivizes kids to take the sport seriously, and that's
Yeah.
probably why we're starting to see, some more young guys, come up in the sport.
It, the future is so bright for you, Ezra, and really for the whole sport. It really seems like it's popping, across the board. Just even for my local course, it's insanely popular out
Crazy,
there.
yeah.
I want to get you out of here, though. I still got a little bit of editing to do on this documentary series I'm putting together, so I'm kind of procrastinating doing
Nice.
this
Okay.
interview. Thank you.
Sweet.
But I want to give you a chance to, say anything you want to the fans, the folks out there that are like, pulling for the Mr. Frijoles, Mr. Ezra Aderhold.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's rooting for me and watches my YouTube videos and comments on my YouTube videos. It's super cool to see all the support. It seems like 99% of the comments are positive, and it means so much to me because it's crazy to see so much support. So I really appreciate it. And also, 2 World Series nukes are dropping on Monday, so pick one up.
Beauty. Monday. Where is it? Where can they get it? Where are they getting them?
The Discraft factory store at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
So,
Monday. That's 2 p.m. probably Michigan Eastern time. So 2 p.m.
Yep.
11 p.m. Pacific. Monday. Make sure you get it. Where can the people follow you? What's your YouTube? What's your Instagram handles?
Yeah, YouTube is just my name, Ezra Aderhold, and Instagram is Ezra_Aderhold. So,
Okay, I'm actually very glad that I heard you say that because I will never mess it up again. Ezra Aderhold.
yes.
I will. I apologize publicly. I will not make that mistake again. But Ezra, that's all I got for this interview, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Big things ahead for you. Fingers crossed, everything goes well in the transition. Guys, that's all I got for this interview. If you'd like coverage of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.